Today, we're going to talk about the Business Cloud Help Desk from AppSmart. And since we know I am not Chris Schubert, I am actually Aaron Tull, the head of product marketing for AppSmart. And I'm here with Steve Slaughter, who's one of our probably most senior channel managers, especially when it comes to the SaaS and the IaaS space. So he'll be joining me for part of this presentation as well. So the first thing we're going to start with, we're going to cover who is AppSmart. For those of you who don't know, it's real brief, just so you get a feel for us. I know some of you are already familiar with us. Then we're going to dive into what the Business Cloud Help Desk is, what some of the features and benefits are. And then Steve's going to take over, walk through some of the more sales-related pieces, like how it works with the Buy AppSmart products that cover some of the same ground. Also talk into like what a good prospect is, how to identify opportunities, and then the tools we have available to kind of help you guys get moving selling these products. So the Q&A function is working. We'll have some time for Q&A at the end, but you can throw things in there as well if you have questions, and we'll address them when we get through the presentation. All righty. So who is AppSmart? AppSmart is technically the largest B2B marketplace for selling recurring technology services. And we kind of focus in two main areas with some other areas on the outsides of that. And the first is the SaaS solutions. We work with about just under 100 different providers to offer about 300 different solutions in the SaaS and IaaS space. And as you can see, we got some big players there. Microsoft that a lot of people work with. We've got Google, who not as many people work with in the channel. As well as VMware, Adobe. And then on the connectivity and managed cloud side, we've got a lot of folks as well. And that's not as applicable to the CNSG folks, I know, because you deal with a lot of the same people directly. But that is what we cover as a company. We like to look at ourselves as sort of a full service provider. So what we do is we focus 100% channel. We have no direct sales team. So all of our services and products are geared toward helping technology advisors sell into their customers, as well as supporting both the customers and the partners. So you can see our services, we obviously do commissioning, sales support. We can escalate any of your requests through our vendors and quoting, obviously. And then for the client side, we do all the migrations and implementations. We do Helpdesk in a couple different ways, which we'll get into. And when products are purchased through our marketplace, there is a unified billing structure. So all of the products that are purchased are on the same invoice and can be viewed through the marketplace by your customers. So just a convenience factor, one bill to pay, not many. All right, so we're going to jump into the Business Cloud Help Desk piece. So, we ask what it is. Well, it's a remote help desk solution with that super descriptive name that it has. But we're talking about it sort of as if it's a new product, but it's actually been a core competency for a number of years. And what it allows companies to do is take what an IT team would normally provide support on and make that available 24/7 to all of your employees. And as you can see, we've got currently about 5 million customers using this product, and the satisfaction and first call resolution are both like industry leading as far as I'm concerned. So we'll hit on the benefits a little bit. And I think if you were to bucket benefits into kind of big buckets, and you see some detail on this slide, but the big buckets are there's a cost element here and there's a flexibility and convenience element here. So if you look at that average IT manager cost, first of all, I think that's a somewhat low number based on what I've seen. And I think also you may have an IT manager in your company, and probably do. You might have a couple of them, but there's a lot that an IT person does, as you all know, and doing end user tech support as a company grows can be really problematic. So even if you have in-house IT, tech support, supporting end users can be tricky. I think as we move to particularly recently, a more remote focused work world, you're introducing a lot of variables that you didn't have when you were inside a company. So when you're behind a firewall at an office, you had security issues or didn't have security issues that you're now running into. You might have employees spread across multiple time zones or even countries. So if you have in-house tech support, with the exception of exceptionally large organizations, it's really hard to manage 24/7 support for that. So when you talk about flexibility, you talk about cost savings, those are really what it hits on. So you're able to fix these problems for your employees while they're anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, on any device. And so I think that's really the value prop on why a company would consider this. So one of the questions we get is what is supported, what actually is covered under Business Cloud Help Desk, and I can safely say it really does cover just about anything that an end user could have a problem with. And I think this is also somewhat unique in this space. So when you talk about remote workforces, when you talk about people working from home, you introduce a new level of complexity and problems that need to get dealt with. So you're talking about a variety of different Wi-Fi providers, hardware such as the routers, modems. You'll see on there printers. We can deal with printer problems. We can deal with malware, which is related to the security. In terms of devices that are covered, whether it's your phone, your laptop, even a desktop, will work through operating system issues, hardware issues, and actually get those diagnoses made. So, again, I keep going back to the remote work because I think that's something that's a pretty common pain point across the world right now. How do you handle an operating system issue if you're relying on an in-house IT guy to handle that? He could have that call, but it's not scalable. So I think, that kind of covers a lot of what we're working through. So that's kind of the overview of what it is. And now I'm gonna pass this off to Steve to talk about a few of the details around the AppSmart portfolio, as well as how this works with our other products. So Steve, you want to jump in here?
Yeah, absolutely. Great job, Aaron, and thanks for transferring this over. So how it works with us is we have products we sell in our catalog that we can support in a very deep way. We have certified engineers that are very experienced in day-to-day supporting end-user customers. We have about 1,500 end-user customers that we support on a number of software applications. And so these engineers see issues daily, and they can give admin level support as well as end user level support. Buy AppSmart only applies to specific products like Microsoft, like DocuSign, like VMware. When you see it with the VMware Buy AppSmart, that means our engineers are certified and they have premium, unlimited, all-inclusive support. With Business Cloud Help Desk, it's geared towards the end user. It's more generalized. And there's no admin access, meaning we don't have access to a customer's administration panel for a specific solution, like a software solution. So we're unable to do certain things or provide deep levels of support because we haven't resold the license to them and we don't have the admin access for that application. But it covers the entire spectrum of end user help desk and hardware and connectivity. You can go ahead and hit the next slide, Aaron. So who's a good fit? Let me actually tell you guys a story. There are several agents and our partners are consuming this service. And one of them actually called me a couple of days ago and said that he was having issues with Wi-Fi, called into the help desk, and actually got somebody at the help desk to spend 6 hours helping him both troubleshoot the issue with his current laptop and then also transferring a bunch of information from his current laptop to a new laptop that he ultimately bought. His Wi-Fi card was bad or something like that. He said that 6 hours was extremely helpful. And the fact that it was 6 hours, and most firms usually charge $125 an hour to $150 an hour. And I've even seen up as high as $190 an hour to help with things like these minimum requests for, hey, my Wi-Fi is not working. And if you think about the environment we're in right now with people working from home, like as you can see, I'm at home, Aaron's at home. If we have Wi-Fi issues, do we want to call our Spectrum or our Comcast or whoever provides our home internet and be on the phone for hours? Or do we want our employees, as an AppSmart organization, around 100 employees, do we want our employees working from home to call Comcast and try to deal with this on their own? Or do we want them to call some experts that'll actually get results, like our friend, the partner that I told you about? So any company with limited or no in-house tech support is obviously a fit. But you could also look at companies that have IT teams, but they're just overburdened or overstretched. Again, in this environment right now, we're hearing from a lot of IT managers that they'd like to be able to focus on core projects like implementing an essential and effective work from home strategy, but they just can't because they're burdened by the continual end user requests for password resets, Wi-Fi devices that aren't working, things like this. Business Cloud Help Desk can be a great burden lifted up. You help them lift that burden off and be a great solution for them. I kind of already said it, but here it says supporting the needs of a remote workforce. Everyone on this call knows working remotely, working from home, it's always kind of been sort of a luxury, but now it's an essential thing, and it's going to continue to be an essential trend that we're going to see in the workforce. I've already talked to several companies recruiting for jobs that say that one of the biggest things that their company clients are looking for is people that can work effectively from anywhere. And conversely, their applicants, the people that are applying for the jobs, want the ability to work from anywhere. And so this is going to stick around. Aaron, you go ahead and hit the next slide.
Yeah, and actually one thing I wanted to add onto this that just popped up as you were talking, Steve, is, I think when we originally started targeting this, they were targeted more toward the, 50 employees down for support. And what we're seeing actually is, to that sort of resource load, the idea behind this was you didn't have an internal team, so you needed external teams. And now we're seeing more of that secondary use case that you just talked about, Steve, which is larger organizations that have IT, but it wasn't built to do tech support at scale, particularly in a remote world. So you're seeing that number saying, okay, well, it was 50 seats and below is the ideal fit. We're now seeing people in the 200, 300 seats that are interested in this sort of service too. So just something else to add there.
Yeah. And I actually think we have somebody with a in the pipeline that's above 500 employees. Yep. So it's pretty exciting. It went from being something that you talk to your smaller clients about to, hey, we should breach this project and this solution with almost anybody that's in an IT department. Maybe they're overburdened, maybe they're not, but you'll never know if you don't ask, right, Aaron?
Yep, agreed.
Great point. So here's what you guys get on this. There's a great spiff going on right now. A really exciting thing we're doing is a 30-day trial. So when you sign up a customer, their billing actually doesn't start until the 31st day, and then they're back billed for that first month. So anytime they want to cancel in that first 30 days, there's no penalty, no early cancellation penalty, nothing. They haven't even been charged yet, right? So you can visit that site there and go check out the spiff. It's a pretty healthy spiff. And then go ahead and move on to the next slide. So many of you might have actually received an email from myself or somebody else in the organization that had some of these sales tools attached to it. But we do have a battle card. We also have an email template to help you start generating conversations around this. And there's a data sheet that you can provide to a customer that maybe wants some more information, or maybe you've already talked to them about it. We've been on the phone with them and quoted it, and you want to give them a leave behind document. So make sure you guys utilize these scripts, and if you don't have them yet, please get with me or your person that you deal with regularly at AppSmart and ask for them. We're all aware that these tools are available, and we want them in your hands so that you can use them in your conversations before, during, and after.
And I believe also that link that was on the other page, the spiff link, will actually take you to all these assets as well.
Thanks, Aaron. I was just about to say that. And then, go to that link, check out the spiff, but also the sales tools are there as well. Next slide. Great. So what do you do if you want to find out more? So partners, you have access to the Learning Campus. If you log in there, you'll find some information on it. Customers, actually, they don't need to log in. They can just go right to marketplace.appsmart.com, and you can too, without logging in as well. And you can find the product profile page. You can see a screenshot of it on the screen there at the right. That's actually what it looks like. It's a very rich product profile page on the marketplace. And again, you do not have to be logged in to view that. It's publicly available to view and to share. Next slide.
All right, so I'll take this one because, I like to keep things interesting and add fun things right at the end of presentations. So as we just described, Business Cloud Helpdesk, you guys were all excited about it. It's locked in your brains. It's Business Cloud Helpdesk. Well, it's soon going to be changing names. And there's a reason behind it. We don't just change names because we feel like it. But when Business Cloud Helpdesk was originally put together, it was solely focused on sort of the software side of things. That's where we saw its application. But as we've gotten deeper into it and we look at its usage, it's really a lot broader than the way it was described. So soon, probably in the next week or two even, it's going to be called Smart Support Plus. So again, exactly the same product, exactly the same features. You'll just see the name change out, and all the collateral will be updated. But we were hoping that if they were going to do this, we could actually get this, promoted out on this presentation. But since we don't know timing and all the materials are still around the Business Cloud Help Desk, that's what it is for right now. But just keep that in the back of your mind as things change. That brand will change as well. So I think that's all we got for you guys this morning. Now I see I have a couple questions. Let me just see if I can get at them without hurting myself. I don't spend a ton of time in here. Can you see them? When I click, it doesn't seem like much happens. So
yeah. So the first one, we have a fan. Thank you, David. Appreciate the kind words. Second thing, yes, we can send this deck out. We can provide it, and also don't forget that link that talks about the spiff and has more info there as well. And I'm happy to send those as attachments if you want. And then, a question I've gotten before is, what kind of questions should I ask somebody like a customer or a prospect to get a conversation like started about a solution like this? Well, if you're talking to the IT manager, chances are it could be as simple as asking something like, hey, how burdened are you with end user requests for different random things? If I could provide a simple solution that's affordable that could take that load off your shoulders, would it be helpful to you? And that should be fine there. If it's a company without an IT department, just ask them how their tech's working and if their technology is breaking, and if how much time are they spending making phone calls to the Comcasts and the phone providers like Sprint, Verizon, whoever, or even the Polycoms, to get end user devices fixed, or warranty claims with things like HP, Lenovo, and Dell. How much time do they spend churning through those type of end user requests, and who's doing that? Is it somebody that's a managing partner at a law firm? It's probably not the best use of their time. Mm-hmm. So there's a few questions, and then use the resources we provided. The battle card has some great qualifying questions to ask and things like that. Marketing does a really good job of putting those together. So,
yeah, we try. But on the deck too, this is being recorded, so I know that it'll be available in recorded form as well. But we will also get the deck out, and we'll also get, and I'll work with Chris on this, getting the link directly to the landing page that has the resources. You can get there via the AppSmart page that we spoke of here, but there's actually a landing page built specifically with those tools on it. So I'll work with Chris to get that out to you guys.
Yeah. Well, this is a great opportunity for you guys to provide a huge value to your customers. There's never been a time like now. I can't stress to you how much I talk to people in the industry. I talk to partners. I even talk to customers, and I ask them how they feel about the future and where the environment's headed. And pretty much everybody I talk to is actually really excited and bullish. So you guys have to take advantage of it, and it's just a phone call or an email away, and we've got some stuff like scripts there for you. So get after it. Let us know how we can help, and we look forward to our next presentation for you.
All right, Steve, everybody, thanks very much for your time today. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of the week. Bye now.